everybody, and welcome to episode 174 of Trials and Trebuchets. I'm your Dungeon Master, Luke, and joining me are my players. Since the beginning, they've been here, and their names are...
I've always been here since the beginning, and my name is Ben, and I play the level 9 gnome wizard, Windsor Wallaby, along with his cutty little companion, Mr. Wiggles.
Meow. That's the sound of a cat lizard.
Meow.
Hello, it's me, Carla, and I play the level 9 Tiefling Roguelike Integrity Eye Idleberry. Let's hope no more catastrophe happens, or else I'd have to hound Troil with the rest of my friends.
Oh my god.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 9 half-elf bard. Why do we build the glass? We build the glass so we can see, and the glass keeps Troil from freezing me. That's why we build the glass. We build the glass so we can see.
Hi, I'm Sam. I was stuck in traffic for the first couple episodes, but then from then I was always here. And I
like that narrative.
And I play the level 8 human sorceress, Sarah Nepson.
Nice.
You lost a level?
Oh my god, Sereneth got demoted.
It's been a couple of days, guys.
Oh my god, Nesta got her.
Level 9 human sorceress, Sarah Nepsinderman, here to help you find your cat, dog, your fox. Lost Pet Services brought to you by me.
And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students split up, but were very quickly reunited when Winslow Wallaby was ambushed by an inky laser-shooting cat. With his friends acting as security, Winslow then gave his preliminary seminar on clockwork golems, accompanied by Kurt, who didn't really do fuck all. He answered many questions on the subject of Tears of an Angel, and, thanks to maybe the security and maybe just the fact that there were no cats in the building, thankfully avoided any follow-up laser attacks. The students, now joined by the 5th student, Kurt Orlane, now travel to the mess hall in search of the tattooed tricksters? Threats?
Threats.
Tattooed trouncers.
That's really good.
Tattooed trout.
No, I got a fish.
I don't remember
Poji.
any of us getting trout tattoos.
Poji. We see the 5 students, Winslow Wallaby, Mira Marchand, Integrity Idleberry, Sereneth Cinderman, and the NPC companion, Kurt Orlane. The one and only Kurt Orlane. The 5 of you make your way across catwalk and stairwell, snow-covered path, and all forms of ways of getting around Troil in this old giant fortress. You make your way to a lowly little building, new compared to the ancient structures the rest of the city is constructed of. You've arrived at a small structure, the mess hall. The wooden doors go open as the bearings are
They are
quite well
also
greased.
saloon doors.
They aren't saloon doors,
Damn
but it looks like they used to be, and they was added to because it was too cold.
Oh my
outside.
god.
The heat was escaping, because as you do walk in, the lovely scent of slop, as it were, warm, very hearty slop does enter your nostrils. A very puckering scent, as it were, almost a bit of a sour note in there, which isn't the most pleasant, does not smell like it should be sour, and it just, there's a bit of it in there. And you're in this kind of like small, short structure. There is space enough for giants to enter into this mess hall, but they would have to be crouched. As you do see like 2 giants probably off in the corner, sitting on utterly too small of benches at utterly too small of a table, just kind of like their knees in their chin, essentially. But the rest of the hall is just kind of people sitting by themselves, eating from a single bowl of what looks like brown slop with a meat of unknown origin sputtered within it.
Ugh.
As you look around, you see that sight, general people keeping to themselves, maybe a hushed chatter going across things. People who aren't working are here, it seems. And at the very end of the room, or the back of the room, I should say, you see that there is the counter from which you might walk up and grab a bowl of slop. Everyone gets as many as you want. So, I
Unlimited
ask you,
slop? Boy, sign me up.
unlimited slop.
Damn.
What a boon, if only to be an employee for the slop. But I ask you, students, we've come here to investigate. We've come here not for the slop, unfortunately.
Damn
And
it.
so I ask, what would you like to do? There are many employees scattered around. There seems to be a person wearing a chef's hat who is administering slop. What is the procedure, I should ask?
Are there any signs of chaos?
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah. I can absolutely
Can we
do an
also do that?
investigation check.
I want to look for
You might
tracks.
Winsler, make a survival check. Integrity, make a investigation check. Setup,
Yes.
would you like to look for chaos as well, or something else?
I think I feel like if everything is running as usual, there might be conversations of like, because like they're coming from different parts of the area, so like
Yes,
they might
yes.
be talking about things.
Give me, in that case, I'll let you, because you can definitely overhear. I want you to give me either perception or insight to get the nitty gritties, though.
Perception
Okay.
or insight? Okay, insight
Your
it
choice.
is.
Okay, so
11. 7 plus
11
4.
for investigation.
Yeah.
We're off to a great start. I rolled a 1, so that's
A
a 4
one.
to survival.
Wonderful.
I got 16, 12 plus
Okay.
4.
I got a 19.
Serenepth, as you walk in, kind of off to the side from everyone else, you're walking down this central aisle of the mess, headed directly for the slop station at the
Yes.
back. And you kind of pucker your ears, trying to look in, like, discreetly, listening around, and you hear a couple of people a few feet away having a quiet conversation about, so did you hear that they halted all the work in the like room 7 in workshop E? And the other person goes, no, I hadn't heard that. Why did they stop? And the person like looks around, and Serenepth, you see him look directly at you and then just like bite his lip and go back to eating some slop.
Okay.
And then we got an 11 and whatever the fuck's going on with Winslow.
4.
A 4. So you were looking for tracks, yes?
Yeah,
Winslow?
so I feel like I'm just
so-
looking like a fucking idiot, just like looking
You're,
at the
like,
ground.
you're looking down at the ground, scratching your little chinny chin as you see muddy and snowy foot traffic brought in from outside, and you're like, that couldn't possibly be it. And so you look up to like the little wooden rafters, and you see like little torches flickering. You're like, well, there's nothing fucking up there either. This is a waste of time. And then Mira and Integrity, an 11 and a 16 on investigating for chaos, either past or present. There seems to be a commotion going on in the back, where the cook, the chef, might be. You see him turn around from the slop as what sounds like a bunch of stuff has fallen over in the back, and you just hear this dwarven man. He looks almost to be more hair than dwarf, honestly, at the glance of him. Just sigh deeply and heavily before moving to the back of the kitchen and beginning to clean something up, potentially. There seems to be no evidence of major chaos out here in the mess to you, Integrity, or you, Mira. Everything seems to be pretty on the up and up, but it does seem like the cook is attending to some, like, shit in the back right now.
I will nudge Integrity and be like, do you think that might have anything to do with what we're looking for?
I mean, it seems like it. I've seen kitchens and it's not that chaotic.
Do you think if we just go up and be like, hey, can we help, they'll like talk to us?
Probably. I mean, we're interns, so we
That's
can just
true.
say some buck wild shit.
Yeah, you're right.
I would like to like send a message through our
Course, the group
tablets.
chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Sarah
to let-
pulls out her sending slate and begins to send a message. What would you like to send to the group chat?
I want to let them know that because like where we were in like workshop. Did you say E or B?
So you overheard that workshop E.
E.
E
Yep.
as in entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Room 7 was currently shut down or just stopped. That, if you recall, Windsor Wallaby was where workshop E is where you were told to go for procuring a tear of an angel or like that kind of line of questioning, if you recall that from the seminar presentation. So that information, Serenip, you can communicate that.
Yeah, I'll let them know that, like, hey, I heard from some people that room 7 in workshop E got shut down. I didn't hear why, but that might be one of the things.
So if this is a dead end, we know where to go.
Yeah.
You all hear your sending slides go as the messages go to and fro. As the five
I
of
fucking
you
silence this thing.
as the five of you proceed up to the slop counter, there is a shorter than average counter, dwarf-sized, dwarf-heighted counter of wood. It looks to be old and kind of bad quality and warped. The bowls don't sit flush on the table itself, the counter. And the cook will kind of peek his head out as you all stand there and will look at you all for 2 seconds longer than normal before saying, "Are you going to take some slop? Get out of here!"
Oh, we're actually the interns. We wanted to know if you guys needed any help. We heard a little bit of commotion, and we're available to offer any assistance we can.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. That is an 8 plus 9, which is a 17.
He looks at you, he squints at you. You can tell he squints at you because all of his facial hair bunches together and his barely visible eyes become even less visible in Mira. Just this very wiry black hair just coating up his cheeks and his just running down from his head. Very, to be frank, unhygienic looking for a cook or a person who is handling the food. You kind of, one of the others, not Mira, might look down at the bowls of slop and see assorted hairs just deposited generously within the slop. And
so
he
gross.
looks up and down and squints at you, Mira, and goes, "Now, why would I want to let a bunch of interns who don't know nothing from nothing about food in my kitchen? This is my pride and joy, and I would never let you touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's why I sent that other helper sent over to me. I sent her out of here. She's fired, and you want to have like her out there, do you?"
Other helper?
He rolls his eyes at you for a moment, Mira, and goes, "That Elfana girl came in here, Crow put her in here. Love Mr. Crow around these parts, but Crow put her in here. She put all the wrong seasonings in the stew. I just messed up cleaning, closing up last night. It was a big old mess in here in the kitchen. And so I sent her home. That was the last straw. And she's been fucking up for weeks. I can't stand it."
Mira, what is he saying?
Winsler, do you have anything? Can you say some dwarf shit to him?
I don't know. I don't know if he speaks dwarf.
Winsler,
Why are you just
You look
assuming
at
he
this-
speaks dwarf because he's
you
a
look at
dwarf?
this dwarven man, thick accent. Your brain, you know this man would speak the southern dwarven dialect,
Oh,
which
would he?
you are so at home speaking, Winsler.
Well, if he's having trouble in his kitchen, does it does it look like there's something that's troubling him specifically? It's not just your regular old kitchen problems where it's oh, there's a mess here or something like that. There's something
give me
clearly
give me an insight
agitating
check.
him. Okay. God, this sucks. Okay, well, that's an 11.
Okay, he's wearing it on his face, so the DC was very low. Although you don't know the full extent to which he is troubled, the trouble seems to be deeper than just that the kitchen wasn't clean.
Okay.
That's all you can glean from such a measly insight roll.
Okay. Well,
But he's no means hiding his unhappiness.
well, I am going to speak in dwarf.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, well, we just want to help too. We just want to help you sort out whatever's going on. And it looks like there's definitely something that's clearly affecting your workplace. And it's definitely not, your ordinary sort of kitchen problems. I mean, you love your kitchen, right? So I think you would want to make sure that it's all nice and dandy and it's kept safe and everything. So why not just give us a shot and see if we can, help out just a little bit.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, because you've spoken Dwarven and you keyed into the deeper problems that have taken root here in the mess hall. Good
I think it
fortune.
also helps, I know Integrity's smiling right at him, We're here for you.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
Well, I found my persuasion dice, so that was a non-natural 20.
Nice.
Winsler, he looks at you and almost grimaces, not in an angry way, but sadness creeps out for just a moment, and he'll say back to you in Dwarven, or Dorf. The rest of you hear this kind of like muddied language with brutal sounds to it as Winsler and the cook speak back and forth, and he'll say to you, Winsler, it does go deeper than just the dirtiness of the kitchen.
You're not going to rephrase that.
That assistant crow sent to me, Alphonta. I had a list of the right seasonings to go in the perpetual stew. That stew got handed down to me by my father, his father before him, his father before him, back before the time was kept by anyone but dwarves. A stew that knows our whole life, the whole Heartbeard clan history. It's our pride and joy. And that girl, she came in here and ruined the spices that were going in it. Do you see this slop in front of you? How am I supposed to serve that and take joy or happiness in it? It was never great, but it was better than this. And you all see this man getting quite emotional and continuing to talk in heavy dwarf.
I like send a message to Integrity and Serenep in the group chat of just, do you think it's working? Thinking face.
There's no way to tell.
Yeah.
I'm going to reply, he looks sad.
Serenep is gonna send back. There's passion in his eyes. I think it's working.
Somehow.
And Winsler
Somehow.
shakes his head and he'll says, so if there's something the four of you can do about that, or some way you can just help find anything, I would welcome the help.
I think it's time for an investigation then, so we can get to the bottom of this.
Perfect. He swings up the wooden, like, little counter latch so that you can all walk through into the back of the kitchen, and he will stop you all before you walk directly in the kitchen and go, now, before you go in, you gotta clean your hands. Make sure you clean your nose out, too, just so you don't sneeze on anything. Especially keep your hair back. Don't make you get any hair in anything, okay? All right. And he'll point you over to where it's like a basin in the corner for you all to wash your hands before entering into the kitchen properly. He goes in. He does not wash his hands, but it's fine.
Time to wash up.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So you
Scrub-a-dub,
all
you
scrub
have to do it for 20 seconds, or you have to sing happy birthday. Either one.
Yep.
But it's not our birthday for another week.
Happy early birthday to you. Happy early birthday to you.
That's not the way that happy birthday is sung in this world. So you can all enter into this back kitchen. The counters are made of wood and seem sturdy-ish, not super clean. There's massive, like, knocked over, very dirty-looking pans, and on a fire in the middle of the room, there is a massive cauldron. A cauldron so large that if it was just a hot tub, all four of you could get in and comfortably sit and lounge for many hours. It's a quite massive cauldron.
This would put Celties to shame.
Yes, it
Oh,
would.
damn.
And in it is bubbling and boiling this sour-smelling stew, the perpetual stew of the Heartbeard clan. Additionally, on the right wall, let's say, there seems to be a door into like a cold room / pantry that you could investigate further. So the cook has allowed you entry to the kitchen. Where would you like to look for clues or in some way help the situation at large?
I think we should probably check first with the spices, because that seems to be where the main issue is coming from. The spices
Interesting.
and the ingredients were tampered with,
So-
we should take a look there.
To be clear, Winsler, your entire purpose in the kitchen is to help with the stew now, if I'm understanding.
Sure.
Okay, wonderful. What about the rest of you? Are you on the stew path, or are you still investigating tattoo threats?
I'm the distraction.
Yeah, maybe I'm kind of like looking around the cabinets and I'm feigning as though I'm looking for ingredients to help with the stew, but in actuality, like I didn't hear any of that conversation. So I'm
Yes.
just like, you know when you're pretending to be useful and you're actually just slacking off? It's very much that. I'm pretending I'm looking around. I mean, I am looking around, but I'm actually looking around for tattoo evidence.
Okay, perfect.
As for me, I'm going to go into the cold room
Perfect.
and I guess like conjure up light just to. I'm pretending to be looking at the floors for any.
Yes.
Maybe like checking out the meats. Maybe the meat has a problem.
Integrity, you walk into the cold room. I'll tell you this much. You walk into the cold room and two things immediately present themselves. One is that there is many hung like lamb legs in here, or just like racks of ribs hung from hooks in the ceiling, and you can look into those if you would like to. And secondarily, there is a second door to a second cold room. This one has a small window in it, and it appears to be locked.
Ooh.
And on the door it reads, Crow's personal food supply.
Oh.
Why does he have his own personal food supply?
Because he owns
What
the
does
place.
he eat besides blood of?
Crow's not a vampire!
No, he's
Yeah,
a
no, I
bird.
know he's just a freak.
It's a anti-aging formula, Sarah. And what's Sarah up to?
Okay, so everyone's kind of taking care of their own spot. What I want to do is wash the dishes
Oh my goodness.
and then dry them and then put them into the shelves
Oh my goodness.
to like, and also because it takes care of two things. Takes care of the sound of clinking dishes because I control when that happens, so I know
Yes.
when it's me or not, or something in the fucking things.
So you don't freak.
And-
yeah.
And putting things away, it gives me more chance to like look in like cupboards that I might
Absolutely.
not normally
So-
look in.
Has
You're doing-
Sereneth ever washed a dish before?
She
Like, does she
has.
know how to
spent
do
the
it?
entire week.
Ah,
She's
yes.
obsessed now.
She's very new to this. It's an exciting.
No,
moment
because she
for
saw
her.
it and she was like, okay, I can do that. And plus, it's not as bad as it was in Integrity's house.
like
It's
her
not.
entire
It's
life,
not.
her entire life, she was not allowed to touch plates. And the first time she touched a plate, she was like, "This is where I'm meant to be."
This is my place in life.
My parents get their hands
Perfect.
dirty one way. I get my hands dirty another way.
Okay,
A-
let's do this then. Integrity, what in the cold room do you want to look at? There's the door to Crow's personal food supply, and then there's hanging meats and other such foodstuffs around. Which one would you like to look at?
Initially, I would like to look for maybe, just like in the main cold room, like any bites, any
Okay.
open
Give me nature
containers
check.
that are.
Give me a nature check. Mira and Serenep, give me investigation checks. As Mira, you loiter around and don't do work and look in cabinets. Serenep immediately does go to work and starts cleaning dishes. Does that change what you do, or are you still just gonna like loiter?
Well, I'm pretending that I'm looking around to help.
Ah, Perfect.
Like I'm
Investigation-
feigning usefulness.
Yeah, okay. Investigation check.
Okay,
Ooh.
13.
That was a good bounce.
And then, Winsler Wallaby, you're going to be looking through spices and such. Using your knowledge of historic dwarven cooking techniques, I'm going to give you advantage on this history check because of your like parents cooking and the way that you grew up in a small house. And so you probably know this stuff. So give me an advantage, with advantage history check, please.
17 for my
17.
investigation.
Oh no. Good?
What'd you get,
Good
Ben?
haul?
So with a nat 20, I rolled a 28.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck. Winsler, you know. Winsler, culinary history is your passion.
He builds golems. He makes a mean stew. Like,
What can't this little gnome do?
What about you, Integrity?
I got 15, 11 plus
Okay.
4.
And Sereneth?
I got a 17.
Wow, 17 crew.
Yeah.
Let's start with Idleberry. Integrity, you walk up to these hunks of meat hanging from hooks on the ceiling in the cold room, your breath creating little plumes of gas in front of your face that you can see. The noticeable thing with a 15 is that the meat has not been the meat doesn't have bites taken out of it. It seems that something has peeled back the meat away from the bone and has tried to gnaw the bones
Ooh.
itself.
Dog.
Like an animal.
Like an
What
animal.
They were
But
all
it-
animals.
But it ignored all of the juicy meat.
Okay.
Mm,
It just wants to eat the
just the bones. Just want the bones.
They want the bone marrow.
Next up, Mira Marchand. You open cupboards and are absentmindedly searching, or very effectively, I think, searching for clues and making yourself inconspicuous, as if you are helping, as if you also know what's happening and are firmly aware of the situation. You get to work.
Mhm.
What you do notice is that though the counters outside are very well cleaned, they look kind of dirty, just like wood that's been stained after years and years of use. When you open one of the cupboards that has like just general food stuff, let's say like it has a bunch of grains in it per se, this cupboard is very notably stained a dark, like brownish black color, almost like a bunch of ink was just poured on the shelves here. Additionally, there's deep scratches on the top shelf, and when you like go on your tiptoes to look at what's on that top shelf, it seems to be like a bunch of bags of sugar.
This is Idol, right?
Aha!
Sereneth, the dish cleaning is miraculous. With an investigation check of a 17, there is no scrap of slop in this pile of dishes that goes without that escapes without you grabbing it and scrubbing it off into the nothingness itself. And consequently, when you go to put plates and such things away, you do find that there is you open a cupboard that's probably like one of the base cupboards, like the ones that are near the ground where the plates are stored, the slop bowls, and you see that there is written in a very, very neat handwriting. There's a bunch of like different little protocols that have been like almost taped to the cabinet door here that seem to be written by a person who is not quite familiar with the procedures in the kitchen, but is trying to memorize them and keep track of them the best that they can.
Oh.
And as you read these lists and watch what Winsler is doing, the different spices and things that Winsler is trying to pull from cabinets in order to like rejuvenate the perpetual stew, to like bring it back to its state of natural being, you do notice, Sereneth, it doesn't seem like this procedure on this very, very well-written list, it doesn't seem like any of those steps are being skipped by Winsler either, leading you to believe that the person who closed the kitchen last night might not have been the reason the stew got fucked up. But maybe that's me saying too much. Winsler Wallaby with a 28! You are you're making your parents very proud right now in this moment.
Dwarven culinary master at work.
Yes, this stew is. It's not that it is well known. You might not have known about the Heartbeard ancestral perpetual stew, but you are familiar with what a traditional dwarven stew, a hearty stew, must have within it. I want everyone to name a single spice or ingredient, fantasy or fake, which goes within the stew that Winsler grabs from the cabinets in order to aid the stew recovering. I will say that you grab these very lumpy dwarven potatoes, these Derheim potatoes, which grow only in a very specific stretch of land near to your own home. You grab a bunch of those and just lop them on the counter for peeling.
Do like any of the mountains around here have specific names?
What name? I am perfectly okay with a 28. You can name a mountain if you want. Whatever the heck you freaking want to name that thing with a 28. You're the history master, not me.
Thinking. This is hard.
I can tell you what I have a name.
Okay.
There's a mountain which is notable because it is like the kind of grandest peak in the southern mountain range where the general Derheim dwarves, the dwarven clan which your parents and this man belong to, Winsler, they're the grandest peak amongst them is called the Murtaggy Peak. Or crag.
Great Murtaggy rock
Craig?
salt, I think.
Great Murtaggy rock salt. You grab it.
It's like a vibrant like red.
Yes. What other ingredients go in?
There are these harbinger mushrooms. And they're color purple with bright orange spots.
That sounds.
That looks poisonous, but it
very
isn't.
Poisonous. Windsor pulls you out, and all of you kind of stop for a moment and go like, "Is Windsor gonna fucking poison everyone?"
It's kind of like pufferfish almost. You gotta cut out the bad parts, and then it's delicious.
Yeah.
There's some cubed meat that has a lot of marbling in it, and that's because it is from one of the fattiest cuts, the ribeye of an owl bear.
Native to the mountain range. Delicious stuff.
They have white fur.
Yes.
They're adapted.
And what is our final ingredient?
The final ingredient, from deep within the mountains, there's this area of foliage. And there's these type of it's this type of leaf that you can it's like multi-purpose. You can grind it up and put some heat to it to make it spicy. You can make it like a sweet like treat sort of thing. It's super sought after, and like you can, and there's like companies that can like send it out to you like from deep within the mountains.
Crow Mercantile.
Do you think it's one of those things where if you get it imported, it's like super expensive because of the importing cost, but because there's so much of it here, it's considered a cheap ingredient?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very funny.
Especially because Crow Mercantile is probably the people who were like
Crow Mercantile
who started
absolutely
shipping it out.
Yeah, absolutely have marked it up. Winsler, this spice, this leaf, this little herb is not expensive. Your parents have jars and jars of it that just like dried out for later use.
It even grows wild somewhere in the mudflats.
Yeah, just little bushes of it crop up on occasion, once every 100 years. But for some reason, Crow sells it for 80 gold a jar.
Jesus, fuck.
Oh my god.
So, Winsler, you grab all these things from the kind of cabinets and work together with the cook in order to like prepare them in a certain way. You all probably spend the better part of half an hour in here while Winsler does this, and the rest of you investigate. And then, after everything has been prepared, the potatoes chopped into thin little slices and added, this herb ground into a fine powder and sprinkled over, the salt cracked into little bits and added to bring out the little flavory bits. The meat, beautiful, added, no longer a mystery, added back to the stew, and of course, little mushrooms, the most terrible parts of these harbinger mushrooms, removed and chopped into fine little cubes.
The heartiest dwarven stew to ever be made.
The hardiest dwarven stew. And Winsler, you and the cook, for a moment, both take a quick spoonful of it, and it isn't a 5-star meal, but it is at least a 3.5, and that is better than slop. And the cook will look at you with happiness and say, in Dwarf, I don't know how I can ever repay you for this, for returning to me what I thought I lost this morning. I didn't even catch your name. You just came in a savior to my own mind and fixed it.
Well, my name is Windsor Wallaby, and
Mr. Wallaby. My clan will know your name until the end of our days.
and you don't.
When I pass this stew on to my children, they'll know that you're the one who saved it.
And you don't owe me anything. The only thing that you could do for me from now on is remember your passion and continue to put that into everything that you make from now on.
He nods
and do your
solemnly.
best.
Guys, the cook's crying again.
He nods solemnly, his eyes welling. He'll go, of course, just give me a moment. I will be in the cold room if you, yes, take as long as you need in here. And he will walk briskly to the cold room where he closes it, the door behind him, and you can hear a light sobbing from behind the door. So, what are you all doing now?
How small is this cold room? Am I
He
being
walks in,
squeezed?
Integrity. He walks in, he looks at you, and then just sits down on a chair in the corner and puts his head in his hands, and you hear silent weeping from his entire body, almost entire body just shaking as emotion flows from him.
What a nice man.
What do you all want to do?
I'm gonna walk over to Sereneth and Mira, and I'm gonna. Did y'all find anything out of interest?
Oh yeah. I'm guessing it's the Ida tattoo, just because, you know, all of the sugar, but it looks like it's been here. It got into the sugar on the top shelf, and it made kind of a mess. It doesn't seem to be here anymore, but if we can kind of follow its tracks from here, we might have something.
Yeah.
I guess we could maybe look for a trail of sugar?
Integrity, you can exit from the cold room.
Excuse me, kind sir.
He stops sobbing and he looks up and he goes, yeah, what can I do for you?
Oh, you're done crying?
Done crying, you big baby.
I'm
Crying
not.
baby man gonna cry.
What do you want?
I'm a generally very curious person,
Crazy.
and I'm just wondering about this door.
That's very clearly marked as Crow's private food flat.
Uh,
What more do you know about it?
Why does he have his own fridge?
He looks at you. Tears are streaking down
Or
his...
not fridge. Why does he have his own? Why does he have his own cold room?
Well, you see, Mr. Crow has his own fridge because He says fridge. He has his own fridge
It's
because
dwarven slang.
he
Yeah.
is our boss here, and he cannot be eating the same. You saw the state of the slop before. I'm not in charge of cooking for Mr. Crow. I'm just in charge of cooking for all the other people who are here around the town. I would ruin it for him. Mr. Crow deserves only the best food. It needs to be kept separate from the slop for the rest of us.
So you sure do love him.
As much as anyone loves the employer.
Well, it doesn't seem like everyone loves him.
I wouldn't know what you're talking about. I am a big fan. I'm a very big fan of Crow and Crow Mercantile Corporation. They keep me fed. They keep my family back home fed and housed. I love working here.
Can I inside check this?
You can insight check it. Yeah, absolutely. Integrity, Idleberry.
Like after I inside check this, I can like leave and let him cry on his own. But that is an 8 plus insight for
So
12.
12. This man is telling the truth. He does enjoy working here. There are lows and highs, but the highs outweigh the lows, Integrity. That is what
Okay.
you take from what this man says to you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to do inventory, so please rejoin the other interns in the kitchen.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much. And he goes back to crying to himself in the cooler as you exit Integrity Idleberry and can rejoin and share your findings with the group.
Yeah, like I'm going to talk about the gnawed off bones.
Like the chewed on bones.
Yes.
Yes.
Would an Inky Ida go for bones?
I mean, let's think about it. We've got the Krogami tattoo. That still leaves a cat, a fox, a squirrel, and a dog.
Hound. Yes.
Hound.
So you think maybe multiple of them were in here? Because gnawing on bones is kind
That
of
would be very lucky of us.
a hound thing to do. I'd assumed they'd split up, but, good point.
I think maybe because it's a tattoo of Ida, I think maybe Ida has sort of like a natural sense of companionship or like has a need for it. So maybe the Inky Ida is like tagging along with one of the other ones just because it's like instinct. That's what I think.
I can see that.
Interesting.
Okay.
So I guess we need to start looking for them.
Yeah.
As you're all talking, could you please not make a single check because this is so obvious that you can all feel it. You all feel a shaking, a rumbling, not in your tummies, but in your general beings as the building around you seems to shake. And you hear a terrible sound of like almost not nails on a chalkboard, but akin to such things where it's just this like shrill scraping sound. Oh, have you ever heard the sound of glass being cut?
No.
Yes.
It's like shrill and terrible. It sends shivers down your spine and makes you not want to be alive or have ears anymore.
Oh.
You all hear this shrill cutting sound and feel a rumbling. And there seems to be a murmuration as people leave the mess hall out front to see what the fuck might be happening. Would you all like to do something similar?
Should we probably get the cook out of the cold room?
I think he's okay. I
Yeah.
think he just needs a moment.
Okay. That might be related to. Oh, geez, it's so fucking loud. Yeah, let's check this out.
It's quite loud.
Yeah.
As you run out, by the way, to explain where Kurt was, he was standing out by the counter examining all the bowls of slop, and you see that he has pulled many hairs out of the slop bowls, and he looks quite proud of himself. There's probably 60 hairs that he's pulled from like
my
10
gosh.
bowls of slop.
Kurt, what the-
But and he'll go, look at me go, I'm a cook. And as you all run out or make your way with some haste out of the kitchen and through the mess hall to the front doors, you stand in a small gathered crowd of probably like 20 people who've exited from the mess hall and are staring up at the sky where it is still dark, and you see that there is in that live glass ceiling that makes almost a dome over Troil itself, there is probably 6 very deep gouges into this live glass.
Uh-oh.
You can see that. Make a perception check, actually,
Oh,
to
dear.
see further details. But you definitely see 2 things. Deep gouges into the glass and the tail of a large creature slithering back down outside of Troil itself. Some sort of beastie
Ugh.
attacking.
Uh-oh.
But what did you get on perceptions?
I got 20. 12 plus 8.
I got 9.
Sarah, what is
5 plus
happening?
I got a
4.
10.
I got a 17.
Okay, Serenepth and Integrity. You see that little bits of the live glass almost look like they have melted and are dripping down like raindrops. You see them specifically where they are landing on the ground and are just like recondensing into little drops of glass and just shattering. But it seems like something with immense heat tried to chew and melt its way through the glass ceiling, but was unsuccessful this time. The general crowd around you is a bit panicked.
Did we see the tail, or did
You see the tail. You see little insectile legs scurry down the side, and this longer, almost centipedal or bug-like, worm-like tail slither down. It has 2 long filamentous appendages that branch off the tail, and like almost feelers on its butt as it slides down the outside. And you hear like a great rumbling that you might interpret, and cracking that you might interpret it going in under the ice again. Similar to that beastie that tried to get you when you were on the sled coming into Troil.
So it's definitely not a shadow-related thing.
It does not seem to
Or
be ink-related.
ink-related.
You do not see any ink evidence right now, currently. No one does. Just big beasts being beasts. The general
better
crowd
than
around you
this.
is very shaken by this, very perturbed, and one of them turns to the other and goes, Why is this happening on today of all days? Like, I was already having a terrible day, and now giant monsters are attacking the town?
You get used to it.
Is this normal?
This gnome looks over at Ymir and goes, "You get used to it. You get used to it. How long have you been here? I've been here for 5 years. You get used to it. You're fresh off the boat. You get used to it." And his friend is like, "Whoa, you need to." And he looks at you and is like, "He's having a terrible day. I'm really sorry. His
It's
project
cool.
just got shut down. Like, no funding anymore. So."
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
I apologize. Today's just, and he goes, "Today's not the day," and like his face just bright red like a cherry tomato about to burst. Mira, you might have been the last straw to break this man. You have no way of knowing until later. As he wanders off.
God.
Well,
What
Winsler had a question.
Winsler, what did you want to ask?
Is this normal?
Another person kind of next to you, scratching their chin. They have like an unshaven goatee, and they'll look to you and go, "No, this isn't quite normal. Normally, the kennel keeper does a better job than this, keeping beasts and creatures away. But he's a bit of a nincompoop, idiot, if you ask me. Terrible at his job. The one before him was much better, but dead now. So
I nudge Serenep, and I'm like, "Shit, do you think something happened to Great?" Like,
Yeah, I
because
think
we were
so.
saying that someone might be over at the kennel keeper, right? One of the tattoos.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. Shit, because this affects the entire living glass situation. I hate it when I say this. Maybe we should either reposition our plans or split up into 2 teams or something like that, because we have 2 different scenarios happening right now, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I can probably deal with Ida or the Ida shadow. Or
Okay.
Ida ink.
Okay.
The Ida shadow.
Okay, here's my thing though. We've the stew has been taken care of. The cook's happy with that. Ida's messing with sugar right now. Whatever I think it might be my tattoo is messing with the greyhounds, and sorry,
my dream.
sorry, is messing with the greys, and it's letting this happen up here. I don't want to sound like that person, but I think one of those things happening right now is more important than the other right now.
No, I definitely agree with you, Serenep, that the thing trying to smash the kind of dome of protection over top of us to bits, that's a bit more pressing, Kurt says, weighing in, his opinion probably meaningless.
No, I appreciate that.
I think we should probably go check it out anyways, right away.
Yeah.
Because they might still be there.
We should probably
Yeah.
run there right now, actually.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
Perfect.
And I run.
4 of you run. Mira, you watch that one gnome like just have a fit as he walks across like the quad of Troil, his friend, and a tall elven woman just like trying to comfort him and failing utterly. He's just screaming and hooting and hollering. Maybe he'll come back later. To get revenge on you, no. But the 5 of you, Kurt included, kind of rush across the quad to the entryway to Troil. It's this kind of gatehouse with a massive stone gate that like drops down from the top. It's hoisted by big chains, etc. And you see there is a large sled which has been very sparsely packed. There is 4 greys instead of 3 that have been picked up out of their little kennel and placed and hooked up to this harness. In fact, you arrive right as the giant grate, the kennel keeper, these long black braids and kind of like furs wrapped tightly around him. And he pulls like a fur hat on over his hair and like secures it with a buckle under his chin. And he then grabs the 4th and final gray, like a little child, out of the little gray pen and picks it up and will put the harness on it and put it on the ground. It looks as if he is preparing for something. Could you all give me nature checks as you look at the grays and the general situation?
Nature.
Oh my god.
Sarah.
Okay, so the base roll was a 2, plus 2 is 4.
Excellent. So a 4 for Mira.
A 4 for Mira.
Nat 20 plus 2.
Yo.
Yo.
I got non-nat
Good
20.
dice.
What?
16 plus 4.
And Winslow Wallaby.
I got 12.
A 12.
8 plus 4.
Winsler, there's something in the air. You can't quite tell what it is. Mira, I don't know how good you are with animals. Everything seems fine to you, however. No one seems on edge. Everything's chill and cool here. In fact, they look quite friendly right now, those grays. They look very nice. The one who's remaining in the pen, just a little guy, just a little, he looks a little juvenile, like just a little young guy, like a little baby left alone.
It's true. I didn't grow up around dangerous animals, and
Correct.
Korigami's very tame.
Exactly. It looks quite docile.
I wave at it.
You wave at it. It like its 6 eyes snap to you, and it like rolls over on its stomach
Aw.
and just like lets out a blood curdling like
Oh my
as
god.
comes to the top of
friendly.
its lungs as it like is not okay. The other grays, you, Integrity, and Sereneth, with your cousin powers of animal understanding combined, the grays seem to be very on edge and very jumpy. The body positioning, they are staying very low to the ground, as if they can feel something shifting beneath, and their kind of already flat ears are pulled. Like, you know when a hippo goes underneath the water and its nostrils, or a whale goes underneath the water and like the nostrils close up so no water gets in?
Mhm.
That's almost what the grays look like they're doing with their own ears, just like shutting it
Okay.
completely and just like huddling as close as they can to the ground. And the 4 of you and Kurt roll up, and Great, the kennel keeper, will look down at you and like scratch his forehead and say, "Well, hey, how's it going? I wish I could stay and chat for a bit, but I don't know if you heard, there's some problems going on outside.
Yeah,
So I would love to stay and talk with you all, but duty calls."
I
What?
just had a really quick question, Great.
Now's the time. Yep, let's do it. Yep, what can I help you with?
It's really quick.
Yes.
The Grays seem very, very stressed right now.
Oh, wow. You
Has
think
something
so?
else besides that been happening this morning?
They've been like
did
this
start
since
earlier?
they've been like this since the morning. Just not moving, just very freaked out. I don't know what's happening. My biggest assumption is one of them big beasties is making a sound on the ice. So I'm gonna go about a kilometer west. There's a little soothing stone that I'm gonna activate. Did it earlier this week, and it lasts about 6 weeks. So I don't know why it's not working. It should keep them away from here, but we'll see how it goes. I hope they don't act up or something, but you never know.
Are
So
there
I hope
any
that
like
clears-
footprints
Yeah,
in the snow that seem to lead anywhere, maybe out of town? Because I'm wondering if something might have messed with this stone. I wonder if the tattoos might be responsible.
Interesting. Looking, I can just tell you without
Oh,
a
just
check.
they got out of there?
Looking
Fuck.
here, specifically, Mira, there does not seem to be any footprints beyond grates, beyond the sleds, or people getting on and off the sled, and then the grays. However, I will remind you, because it's been many moons in real life since we've played, when you investigated your guys' room, there was a broken window that had kind of fixed itself, if you recall. So there could be something, one of your tattoos, which got outside and didn't have to go through the main entrance to be fucking with stuff.
Guys, do you think maybe we should ask to go with him? Because if something's messing with this stuff, that might be tattoo related.
Anyways, I'm just gonna go on the sled. I'll go alone. It'll be way quicker that way. I might die in a terrible
We're gonna come with you.
Sucked under the ice.
We're gonna come with you.
And he puts his hand up and he goes, "No."
Intern protection squad.
We don't really care if you say no. We're gonna come along anyway. So buckle up, buckaroo.
Yep.
We're coming along.
I just go and sit down on one of the sleds.
Mira, you go and sit down on like the front sled part, and then you feel the clothing around your neck just. Are you wearing like a turtleneck or something? Or like a jacket?
Yeah, I'm wearing a pink turtleneck and a white puffy jacket.
You feel like all the clothing on the front of your neck like start to pull back, almost like it's choking you, as Great picks you up by the back of your clothes, like your hood and stuff, and deposits you with grace and elegance onto the ground outside of the sled. And he'll say, "No, I insist. This is my job after all. I can handle it by myself. I do not have any need."
So if you die, who's gonna protect the town then? Because there's already like a big creature that tried to break the glass, and if you don't come back,
Make a
Trials
persuasion
kind of
check.
fucked. Okay.
We're doomed.
We're doomed.
Well, all right. That's a 17,
Total?
which makes total. The base roll was an 8.
Now, does anyone else have any other additional arguments you can make to in some
How,
way?
I do have a backup plan that may work in the event that he does not let us go on. So continue on with everything.
You
but
have a backup
I have
plan.
a backup plan.
Sarah, did you have something to say that could help Mira in this situation?
Like you've seen us on the sled, like trying to deal with the things under the ice earlier. Like you've seen that we are capable students. Like, let us go with you so that way you have better chances.
Mira, roll with advantage, please.
Okay. Well,
do
we'll
good
see if
this
that
time.
does anything. Oh, I did.
Hey.
That's a 17 plus 9. That's a 26.
He leans on the back of this sled and sighs, and it sounds like an avalanche. Like, oh, but an avalanche.
You hear people screaming in the distance when an avalanche is happening.
And he'll say, "I wanted to do this myself so that people stop talking shit, but if you're gonna help, you're gonna help. So get on the sled. Why not? Let's get going."
Okay.
Oh, when we come back, we could like make a big thing about like how helpful and cool you were. We could even be like, "Oh my god, we fell and you had to save us."
You're gonna not only are you gonna help me with the actual thing, but then you're gonna pump up my name and cred around town.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it takes like zero
Cannot repay
effort.
you for that. That is unimaginably helpful.
It's cool.
Provided that I do live, I will find a way to make it up to you.
We'll make sure you live.
You never know. Do not take those things for granted. Especially, all right, everyone on the sled. You get too, little man? And he points at you, Winsler, who's just standing there.
On my way.
Perfect. And you can load on into the sled.
Kurt, you stay here and protect the
Yeah,
entire town.
Kurt looks at you and goes, "Do you want me to come?"
No, I think it'd be better if you stay there. If anybody asks, we're busy.
Oh,
Okay.
use the slate and keep us updated on what's happening in town.
Like if something
Yeah,
happens?
Yeah, if you see any tattoos, see where they might have gone.
Okay. So do you want me to
Yeah.
look around while you're gone
Yes.
for the tattoos then?
Yes.
And then great. Oh wait, are you messaging on the slate, right? Or are you
Yes.
just saying this to him?
I'm messaging on the slate. I don't know what they're doing.
I assume you're
I'm
having
just
a
telling Kurt
conversation
to-
out loud. Yeah,
we're busy.
Perfect. He goes, "Yeah, I'll look around, see what I can do. I'll probably solve it all before you guys even show up. But have great fun on like the sled ride."
Hey, nice pun, I say. And I send an emoji of guacamole for some reason.
Did you mean to send that? I don't get
I
it.
don't know. I thought it was like cool.
I'm gonna send the grimace emoji.
And you hear chains rattling in the cold air of the Arctic seep inside as the gate to Troil opens once more. Great will slap them reins, and all the Greys will generally, very hesitantly, stand up a little bit and begin to move, locomote slowly, with no sense of real urgency, and pull the sled out the front gate of Troil. Immediately, as you all leave, almost like within seconds of the sled itself exiting the threshold of the town, that gate slams back shut, and you just feel the whipping wind. It's not as cold as when you came here the other night, like during the nighttime. It feels like quote-unquote daytime, as it were, though there is no sun in the sky. That full moon still hangs above you, though at a different position, and it is a cloudless kind of night. But obvious to all of you is the broken up ice around the perimeter of Troil as Great kind of maneuvers the sled and starts heading west. You see that there is large holes, almost what looks like oversized ice fishing holes broken into the surface of the ice that, from your memory, were not here the other night when you arrived. Potential places where the beastie had emerged to break into the city itself. And you do all feel a rumbling, not just from the sled sliding across the uneven ice and snow surface, but also likely from that creature underneath the ice. Off in the distance, you see a small outcropping of what might be just ice that is kind of formed into a mound or set of icy ridges, or it might be a mountain that pops up out of the ice that snow has just deposited on itself upon. There's no way of knowing from this far away. But you do see emerging from kind of like the top of it, almost as if it is a beacon of sorts, this single line of green light shooting directly up into the sky, almost illuminating everything like a flare of sorts with this eerie green light as you approach. You make it probably 100 meters away from Troil, not far whatsoever, when you begin to hear cracking and creaking of ice behind you.
Uh-oh.
And Great will sigh heavily, and he will say, "So I suppose you're going to put that same magic you used before and keep this one off us too, right?" In reference to the creature which is now coming up upon you, much closer than the other one, and very soon to pounce out. Can you all roll initiative for me?
Fuck yes.
Oh, God.
Oh my god, Jesus fucking Christ. Why am I fucking...
Oh, my
All right.
fucking God.
That's a 4.
Oh my god!
My favorite part of this episode is all your guys' fucking hatred for how terrible your roll.
Our rolls have been so bad this episode.
I did good. What are you talking about?
I mean, there were 2 good ones, and that involved nothing of the sort, besides cooking.
So what did everyone get?
4.
7.
Oh my god.
I got 15.
Nice.
I got a 22.
Nice.
All
What
right.
are you doing
Sarah,
being all,
save us.
Because I keep alternating my dice, I guess. Is what's
I
the
do
best.
too, and they suck.
I don't know. Okay, but yeah, your dice sucked before.
Dice are terrible. I was like, I'm gonna use this one. No.
So,
Oh God, we're gonna die.
the goal of this is simple. You could defeat the beastie here, although I find that unlikely. The goal is to keep the beastie off of the sled and keep it from crushing the sled and Great and the Greys to death for at least 2 rounds, please, as you sled across the ice. All right?
Okay.
Perfect. Off on the horizon, you see that small little outcropping, a little cavern inside where you likely could take shelter. First up, Serenepth Cinderman. What would you like to do?
I imagine that we were kind of like sitting in the sled starting
Yes.
up. I
Yes.
want to use a bit of my movement to kind of like look over, like put my arm down, like kind of like lean over to look over
Out
the edge.
side, yeah.
Yeah. Do I physically see the creature, or is it under the ice?
You see flared red kind of spikes, violent and brutal looking, that are sticking up out of the ice surface and are the things that which are actually breaking and crashing through the ice, almost like spines upon a creature's back that are just sticking up like a shark fin, but not.
Okay. So I want to use cone of cold.
Oh,
To thicken the ice around us, to make it harder for it to be able to push itself through the ice and try and get to us.
Perfect. All right. So what does that look like for you?
I imagine it's like she kind of like sweeps her hand in front of her, and like it's like a flash of white starts to build the palm of her hand before it kind of like just blasts out to the cone, like surrounding the area behind us push this thing down.
Okay. What is the range on that spell? Because you can probably roll damage against this thing, or it might have to make a save of some sort.
From me, it is a 60-foot cone.
Oh, perfect. So, in that case,
That's a big cone.
Do I have to make a saving throw, or is that just an attack or something?
It is a Constitution saving throw.
Perfect. The beastie got a 19, which I assume saves. So it will take, I assume, half damage from your cold spell. Go ahead and roll that. How much damage is it?
It's 8d8. So do you want me to roll 8 or just go with...
Just roll the full 8, and then I will do whatever I need to do to it.
Oh, shit, that's good. Okay, so 6, so that's 9. 9. And that's 10 for the extra one because I only have 3d6, unfortunately. And then 6, so 16. And then the last 2 that I have to roll, 11 in total.
Okay. So, Saraneth the Cinderman. You all see Saraneth taking the initiative, leaning over the side of this fast-moving sled, pointing her palm, and little ice and shards and snow, the essence of cold itself, emerging from her hand and just making a plume of what looks like winter wonderland behind the sled. As it comes into contact with this beastie, you see those spikes on its back, those orange spikes, glow red hot, almost as if it has a fire burning within them, and you see the cold essence, which you've shot at Saraneth, completely melt away into water. This creature's immune to cold damage.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Oh no!
Well, dang.
And it is going to act now. You see, in the moments after Saraneth shoots cold at it, it crashes up out of the ice, its massive maw, this bug-like little face, these 2 brilliant green eyes. You can see the reflections of like the light from the plate, the little soothing stone cave that you're headed to, reflecting in its eyes, giving it this wild appearance. Its scale, or its carapace, almost like this icy blue color, so it can perfectly blend in, and it has this like these ridge of red spikes along its back, and almost like these flared, akin to like the cobra flared head, but little like flared little wingy things on the side that do add to an air of whimsy with this creature if it was not about to snap and bite Great in the back, which it will do now.
Shit.
And holy shit, is incredibly successful. You see it lash out through Saraneth's misty or icy spell, and just with 6 large teeth just grab Great on the like shoulder and back. You see those fangs pierce him deeply, and he lets out a very loud grunt as he does so, and begins to slump forwards. He looks to be in immense pain, and this beast is not letting go, but is now being dragged behind the sled.
Great.
Integrity, what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's who got bit.
Okay, so assuming that because we are in the sleigh with
Sleigh.
we're
Yeah.
in the sleigh
You're in the
with
sleigh. Santa's here. What's up?
with Gray,
Mm-hmm.
I am going to take my dagger and I guess like try to like pry the like the creature off of
Interesting.
Great.
So do you want to pry it, or do you just want to stab it so badly that it will retract, to be clear?
Yeah, stab to retract.
Okay. It's like let go in pain, right?
Yes.
That's the intent?
yes.
Okay, so you can climb up the kind of netting to the where Great is standing. You like lean forwards, and with a knife in your hand, a dagger in your hand, can lash out and stab. Because you have an ally within 5 feet, you get sneak attack.
Yes, I was about to bring that
but
up.
make your attack. What dagger are you attacking with? The J dagger, I presume?
The J dagger.
Perfect.
Yes.
Make your attack in that case. Integrity Idleberry, level 9 Tiefling Roguelock.
That is a nat 20.
Yo! I was like, is this
With
the first
jade dagger,
Is
you
this
say?
the first time with the crit of the
nat
jade dagger?
20 with the jade dagger, you say?
Oh, no.
Yes.
If for those who don't recall,
Oh boy, here we go.
when you attack a creature with at least 1 heart and roll a 20 on the attack, you cut out the creature's hearts. If the creature cannot survive without a heart, it dies. A creature is immune to this if it is immune to piercing damage, / has no heart, / doesn't need a heart. Such a creature instead takes 64 piercing damage. So, please roll 64 piercing damage for me, Integrity Idleberry, as additional damage. And then double your stuff as needed. And don't forget your sneak attack.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's
this is a
also
lot of
doubled, right?
damage.
Yes, which your sneak attack damage is also doubled, Integrity Idleberry. So how much are you rolling for damage? It's
So
64
you said-
plus,
3d6 times 2.
so 64 and 66. Please
That's
roll all of that.
130.
66?
It'd be
That's so much damage.
12 d6.
Oh, total.
Oh, yeah.
12d6.
No, never mind.
Oh, Ben, get
Plus
out.
the weapon itself, yeah?
Plus the weapon
So
itself.
that's 1d4 plus 3.
Yeah.
That's a lot of numbers.
That's a lot of damage.
I love it.
Integrity's
Isn't
about
it?
to
Isn't
pop
this
off.
fun? Isn't this fucking fun?
3d6. I only carry like 2 sets of dice with me at
Well,
a
that's
time.
your fucking problem, okay?
I gotta buy more dice.
This is
No, you're a rogue.
This is
You
why
know-
you should always have a bag of dice available.
Hell yes.
I'm glad I have all of my notebooks always on me when we record, just for that moment.
For these moments
Okay,
alone.
So
I can now burn them all because
4?
we've.
why am I rolling high? I don't know.
What's the problem with rolling high?
1d4.
You're playing a rogue. Hello?
What am I rolling?
And then I got a okay. 26 plus 64 plus 7.
You're on your
40.
own.
33 plus 64.
Oh, it's 6d4.
Oh,
Like-
6d4.
Yeah.
Are
not-
you serious?
Not.
Oh my God, Carla!
So 30.
I think we joked about it too much,
33.
guys.
I was sitting here like, wow, she actually rolled 64? That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
The mouth.
I'm deaf.
That's a lot of damage.
Okay,
Fuck.
okay.
I made note. All your calculations came up to 33. You just have to add the 6 d4 rolls to it.
Okay. Sounds good.
D4s, of which there are 6.
Okay. 16.
Good.
16 plus 33 plus 7. 56.
56 piercing. So, Integrity Idleberry, you scramble up this netting that kind of like envelopes, hugs you all as cargo in the sled. You, like a pirate from your fucking dreams, scramble up and with your right hand lash out and stab this beast square in the middle of its forehead, its bug forehead between its 2 bowling ball sized eyes. This thing is massive. And it like you just feel the knife plunge deeper and deeper and deeper until your hand is just fully in this thing's head. And then you like retract it. It did not see you coming. It did not anticipate being attacked in any way. It is an apex predator around here. You see all these thoughts and more flashing through its buggy little eyes as it recoils, its mouth letting go of great. You hear him sigh a gasp of relief, Integrity, and look down and you go, thank you. And as this like giant buggy beast like curls back in the sky, and you see in its chest just this giant pop of something, as if like a heart inside of it has popped, and it will fall on its side, twitching and moving slightly still, as it has 2 hearts. Unfortunately, you've defeated one of its hearts and taken away.
It's a
I
Time
will
Lord.
Eliminate it. It has taken much damage, and I will say that if Mira and Winsler, the 2 of you can do something satisfactory, Mira and
I know
Winsler,
what
if
I'm gonna
you can
do.
do something satisfactory, we can arrive there as Integrity has done such catastrophic damage to it as to fully incapacitate it for its next turn. So
Yeah.
with that, Integrity, you standing triumphantly on the top of this sled as it rockets forward on the ice field. Winsler Wallaby? What do you
Holy
wanna do?
fucking shit, Integrity.
I'm scared now. So it is incapacitated, right?
It's writhing around on the ground as a bug was wont to do.
Okay. So does that mean it automatically fails some saving throws?
It has the stat incapacitated. Yes, absolutely.
It can't take actions or reactions if it is incapacitated.
Okay, so that's it. Okay.
There's nothing about saves.
So
It's
it-
not paralyzed, though.
Got it. Okay. Well, there are crates on this sled, yes?
There are few small crates. One of them of beef jerky, another one of like spears, giant spears.
Okay. How much do you think a crate would weigh?
A full crate?
Not a full crate, just like a regular crate.
Just a regular crate. An empty crate?
Yeah, like an empty crate.
An empty crate is probably like 17 pounds.
17 pounds? Perfect.
Yes.
That is just within range of a level 4 catapult.
Wonderful, Ben. Almost as if planned.
Almost completely planned. So I'm going to send this crate flying at it while it's on the ground.
Absolutely. What do I need to make as a saving
It needs
throw?
to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I will give it disadvantage for you just because it did get a fucking... Like, I'm going to make certain accommodations because it did just have its heart blown up or cut out.
I
from
almost
its
thought
feet.
it's like, oh, it's
So-
losing a heart, but it's still a bug, so it's still kind of like sort of alive.
Bugs have more than one heart in this world.
Bugs are gross.
Oh, I rolled 2 of the same number. It was an 8 on the first one and 8 on the second one.
Yikes.
And Winsler, that saving throw is going to be a 9 total.
9 total. Okay, it's taking a full fucking crate to the face, I guess.
A full crate smash. So it just had its heart exploded in its chest, its buggy little like insides, and now it's just being smashed over the head of the crate. Just brutal now.
All right.
Brutalizing this bug.
Oh, come on. Rolling damage. Better. That's so shit. that is so shit. That's 20 bludgeoning.
Oh, that's no good, Ben.
I rolled the same numbers for 2 rolls. I rolled 2 4s and 2 1s.
You hate to see
And then
it.
2 5s. Yikes.
So you all see after Integrity's triumphant thing, Winslow goes, I'm so scared, and shoot, just essentially the equivalent of just like throwing a crate overboard to like fucking smash this thing in the back. You see the wood splinter. The crate large in front of you, Winslow, looks like a toy crate when it goes and actually impacts this beast far away behind you. As it recoils and tries to regain itself, Mira Marchand, it is now your turn.
Yep,
What
great.
will you do?
Yep, easy. This is a chase, is
Easy.
it not?
It's a type of thing, yes.
Yes, we're being chased by this
You've
thing.
certainly
So
been chased by it.
I am going to pull out my lyre. I'm going to strum some notes, and the glowing musical notes are going to create almost a visual representation of like a staff, a musical staff, and it is going. This glowing staff is going to wrap around this thing and attempt to slow it. So I believe that would be a wisdom save. Please, DC
wisdom.
17.
Ooh, the bug must make a wisdom. The bug is not as wise as other opponents. Ooh.
Apex Predator, not so smart.
That's a -2.
Yikes.
So it would have to roll a 19 or 20 to.
Holy shit.
Great.
Yeah, not happening. So.
Great. Its movement is now halved, I believe. And what else happens when you?
It has to make a
fucking
wisdom
slow
saving throw on
creature?
its turn if it wants to use an action, if I recall. And if not, it takes a full 2 turns to activate such things.
Yep. It also takes a -2 penalty to AC and Dex saves. It cannot use reactions, and on its turn, it can use either a action or a bonus action, not both. It would have to roll a D20 if it wanted to cast a spell.
Perfect. That's why it was. Perfect. So we see this beast, this bug, this heartless creature, one-hearted creature, writhe on the ground. It seems to start spinning as if it's about to, and like rising up in the air as if it's about to like smash down through the ice like a burrowing worm might. And then, Mira, the music notes wrap around it and it becomes just absurdly slow as it begins its dive under the ice. Watching it, you are not even certain that it has the velocity needed or the force needed to smash through the icy ground out here. And as the sled slides on and Integrity, you see Great begin to slump further forwards. He gains a paleness in his eyes and just like staring off into like the distance absently as he is bleeding badly. Mira, you do continue watching and you do see this creature, this bug, smash its face against the ice ineffectually.
What an idiot.
As you all escape off to this icy cavern half a kilometer away from Troil. As the sled pulls up and begins to slow, Great, whose feet and knees are kind of strapped to the sled, the back of the sled itself, slumps forwards. Integrity, he'll look at you and say, I'll stay here, I suppose, and if it starts to, and he breathes deeply. He does not look as though he's going to make it, we'll say. He looks to be dying.
Hey, it's cool. Just here, listen to some tunes. This is going to help you. And I'm going to place one of my hands on this guy with my other that I'm kind of resting on my knee. I'm going to strum a comforting lullaby, something that might make somebody think of familiar home. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Great at 2nd level.
Please tell me how many hit points this man has.
Let's see, that's gonna be 2d8 plus 5 for a 2nd level Cure Wound, I believe. So, Great is about to recover a 3 and an 8, so 9, 10, 11, plus 5, 16 hit points.
Perfect. He's now at 17 hit points.
Woo!
He was on the edge there, folks.
Yikes.
So he listens to these tunes, Mira, and will nod his head gently, rhythmically. It also seems that what you're doing is soothing the Greys as well, as although they did not take damage, they are quite freaked in the moment, to put it lightly, howling and shrieking and just like trying to get as low as possible to the ground itself. Great will take a deep breath in and kind of put his head back. His wounds no longer bleeding, the pain still remnant, but he feels fine. Better, at the very least. He'll look at you, Mira, his eyes a bit elsewhere, and he'll say, "Thank you! I wouldn't have made it without you. I probably would have died there." And he will begin to unlash himself from the sled, and he'll say, "The 4 of you rush in. There should be a large stone, almost like a drum of sorts, if you know how to play an instrument. Just hit it with something, a hammer or whatever you have on you, your fist if it need be, and that should work. It's magical. It's not about the force you use. I'll stay here." And as he unlashes himself, he grabs one of those spears from a crate next to you, Winsler, and he'll begin hobbling or limping towards like that cave entrance. He'll say, "I'll stay here. If it tries to come back, I'll keep it away from the sled. But please be quick, because I don't want it to come back. I've realized I'm ineffectual alone, and please hurry back."
All right, we won't take that long. Be safe.
"Always." And he nods deeply at the 4 of you as you enter into this icy cavern, this green aurora-like light glowing all around.
Green light, frozen wasteland. Oh God.
And as you enter, there's just this reflection, like it's almost like a snowbank that had a hole melted through it, and so this entire circular hole, this cavern through which you are walking, is just ice. So you might take your steps very slowly. This green light reflects and makes this brilliant kind of like light show on the ice around you all. And after 2 minutes of silent walking, you emerge into a clearing. It looks as though this might have been an iceberg that had the center. You know those ice cubes that have the center like hollowed out of them?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
It's almost like it's almost like you've entered into one of those. So there's these large banks of ice and snow on all sides of you, with the only way out being that tunnel, but the sky above you is open. And in the center of this clearing, there is a stone platform where there's almost a totem of sorts sitting upon it. The totem is there's a cylindrical piece at the base, and then a cubic piece secondary on the second layer, and then another cylindrical piece, and then that's where the light is emerging from. However, as you stand here and approach this central platform, this dais of a sorts, icy and glowing here in the magnificent winter, you hear sliding of ice from the ridge around you, as it were. And as you look up around you, you see standing, kind of hiding on the snowy ridge overlooking you all, a thin, inky being, a big fluffy tail on it, big triangle ears and a triangular face, and in its mouth it is holding a almost perfectly spherical piece of stone with a flat bottom, one which you would almost certainly be able to stack on top of this stack of stones.
Don't eat the
seems,
drum, Ida.
as you watch, that a large fox has stolen the top of this soothing stone, and by its snarls from far above, has no inclination of giving it back.
Thief.
And that's where we'll pick up next time on Trials and Trebuchets.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Carla, could you give us an outro?
Hey everyone, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Trials and Trebuchets. Oh, I did not breathe there. Sorry, that I was way too excited. I hope that you all enjoyed it. Please leave a rating or a review on our iTunes. It truly matters. It means a lot to us, and it really gets the increases our ratings. Pumps those numbers. And if you really don't want to comment or rate us because you don't want to judge us in that way, please share us to your friends. Be like Trials and Trebuchets, such a great podcast.
So good.
We also have an Instagram and Twitter at Trials and Trebs, where you can see updates, see teasers, see pictures and pretty images. Wait, pictures and images are the same thing.
Hey, whatever.
You'll see it, and so go check that out. And on there you will see the link to our Discord server.
Also in the episode description. That's more recent.
Or in the episode description down below, where you can meet a bunch of like-minded individuals, or maybe not like-minded individuals, but people who like the show. So in some ways, you have
things in
similar
common.
brains. Yeah. Now let's talk about money, because the money makes the world go round. You want to give us money? You can give us money in 2 different ways. Number 1. Don't laugh at me like that. Number 1 is through our Patreon.
Yes.
We receive patrons because we like to be patronaged. And you can also give us money through what?
Trebmerch.com.
What is trebmerch.com?
It's a merch store from Trebuchets.
Go check that out. We have shirts and stickers and
Yes.
potentially new stickers to come out.
And that's it for plugs. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I hope you tune in next week to fight foxes and fix stones. And until then, we shall see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.